Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another meal prep video. We're just going to jump right in. The first thing we're going to make is some chia seed pudding. I have made different versions of chia seed pudding on my channel over the years. I don't think I have made one quite like this. I'm kind of just making it up. I found a ton of different chia seed pudding recipes on Pinterest and on TikTok, and I'm just kind of trying to do kind of a mixture of different ones. I have made them where I've mixed the yogurt in with the actual chia seed pudding, but I'm going to do this one like a layered one. So I have my little jars here and I have some chia seeds. So a few little tricks with the chia seeds. So one thing, of course, you want to make sure that they are not expired. Also, stirring is very important. So I'm going to show you here that we're going to put 2 tablespoons of chia seeds into each little jar. These jars, I want to say they were 11 ounce, I'm pretty sure. So I'm going to do 2 tablespoons in each of the jars. And then we are going to do our liquid. So instead of doing almond milk, which is what I've always done before, unsweetened almond milk, I'm going to use this pure protein so we can get a little bit of flavor with the strawberry and then extra protein with the protein shake. You want to do a half of a cup of whatever kind of liquid. So use whatever you want, whether you use a protein shake or almond milk, cashew milk, regular milk, whatever you want to use. You want to use a half of a cup per 2 tablespoons of chia seeds. So I'm just going to do a half a cup of this. Now, if you kind of want strawberry flavored type thing, what you could also do is take some strawberries and puree it with your milk. I was going to do that, and then I remembered I had these protein shakes. So I would also suggest doing that. It just makes the pudding more flavorful. So if you don't have a flavored protein shake, just get some milk, whatever you want to use, almond milk, puree it with some, or mix it up with some frozen berries or something, and then it kind of mix it and then use that as your liquid. Highly recommend that. That is my favorite way to do it if I don't have any flavored protein shakes. I'm thinking the possibilities with this, different flavored protein shakes, is endless. Now, you want to let it sit for about 5 minutes and stir. And you want to stir it really, really well, because what's going to happen is it's going to start getting clumpy. So it's really important that you let it sit for about 5 minutes, stir it. And I got my little whisk out because I did let mine sit for a little bit too long. Mine sat for closer to 10 minutes. So you want to do about 5 minutes, stir it, let it sit for another 5 minutes, then stir it again. And then that way you kind of get all the clumps, nice and smooth. So that's why I like to use this little whisk. But you don't really need a little whisk if you only do it for like 5 minutes. And then once you've done that twice with the 5 minutes set aside, stir, 5 minutes set aside, stir, put it in your refrigerator to let it set up. And it usually takes about an hour before you can go to the next step. Now, if you're just using plain unsweetened almond milk, you're going to want to add some sort of flavoring and sweetener. So you can use honey. So if you want to use honey, just use 1 teaspoon of honey. And then just about a quarter teaspoon, half teaspoon of vanilla extract. That'll add some flavor and also add some sweetness. Now mine have been in there for about an hour, and so I'm going to add in my yogurt. So I'm using this Chobani zero sugar vanilla yogurt. It's just a nice plain yogurt, and I'm going to use the serving size, which is 170 grams or 3/4 of a cup. So I'm just weighing that out on my scale. So in each cup here, I'm going to do the 170 grams. And so I'm going to do that in both of them. So like I said, you can let it sit in there even longer, but mine was in there for about an hour, and it was set up enough for me to put the yogurt on top. Otherwise, the yogurt's going to kind of sink into it, which is fine. It'll still gel up. But if you want that more kind of layered look, then you'll want to let the pudding kind of gel up before you add on the yogurt. So I'm just getting that all weighed out. And then we're going to add on some frozen fruit on top. You can add fresh fruit, whatever you want. You could do nuts. You could do granola. Granola is really good on top of this as well, but I'm keeping this really low points. So we are going to just put some fruit on there. And I believe I will put the points and stuff at the end, but I believe this is 4 points the way it is. It's 2 points for the yogurt. Normally this yogurt's 1 point if you just use one small container, but I'm using 3/4 of a cup, so it's 2 points for the yogurt. And I believe it's 2 points with the shake, how much of the shake I used, plus the chia seeds. But I'm just kind of measuring out the fruit so I know the calories. So here are my finished product. So I didn't put the lids on there, which I'm glad, because once I put the lids on there, it kind of smushed the fruit in there. But I will have points, calories, and protein here on the screen. And I will link a few different chia seed puddings down below. There's a ton of them out there. Next up, I'm going to make some cottage cheese ranch dip. So I have some fat-free cottage cheese here. I love this ranch dip. It is one of my favorites, high protein. I am going to use some ranch seasoning mix. Now, you may need yogurt and you may not. It's really going to depend on the consistency of your cottage cheese. Some cottage cheeses are thicker than others. When I use the Good Culture cottage cheese, I do have to use some plain non-fat Greek yogurt to kind of thin it out a little bit. You could also use water, but I just like to use the yogurt, just kind of keeps the flavor in there. But most of the time, fat-free cottage cheese is a little bit liquidier than the 2% cottage cheese. So just keep that in mind. Just have some yogurt on hand just in case you need to do that. So I'm just adding all the ingredients in there except for the yogurt. But like I said, we're going to blend it up first and see what the consistency is. So you can see here after blending it, it's nice and thick. So this is great for a dip. I don't need to add in any sort of yogurt. It's great as a dip. If you want to use this as a dressing, just thin it out a little bit and it works as a dressing. This is 0 points because I personally don't count the seasoning mixes. You can do that if you'd like. I just put it back in the same container because now I know when it expires, because it'll be the same expiration date as the cottage cheese. Now we're going to go ahead and work on some veggie trays and some veggies I need to prep for some salads that we will do after this. So I have this veggie tray that I got at Marshall's. I have my chopper that I have had for years and years and years. So first up, we're going to do some cucumbers. So these English cucumbers, the skin actually wasn't too bad. I've had some really bad luck lately with the skin on my English cucumbers, but this one wasn't too bad. I tasted a couple and it was just fine. So you see I already put some tomatoes and carrots and sugar snap peas in that container because those were already chopped up. We're just going to go ahead and chop up some cucumbers, peppers, and that will be for my dip, that dip I made. Plus I do have some hummus in the refrigerator. So I'm just really excited to have this ready to go. I was excited to find this tray. I think it was like $6.99 at Marshall's. I just think it's going to be great. It's going to be easy. I don't have separate containers. Now I will be doing a chopped salad. You guys are going to see that next. So I'm just using my little chopper so I can make sure all my vegetables are around the same size. And there's something about having a chopped salad. Now, because these are all going to go into the same salad, I'm just going to use it. I'm not going to separate all my veggies. I'm just going to put them all in one container and just layer in my salad that way because there's just no reason to have them all separate. But this little chopper, like I said, they don't have this one anymore. I've had it for like 6 or 7 years. I did get it off of Amazon. I will have one similar linked down below, but these things work great. I have a very simple one. Mine only comes with 2 attachments. There are some out there that I think I'm going to try to get because there's ones that have like a mandolin and all different kinds of attachments. And I just think I need to upgrade because I've had this one for so long, but it works. So I'm just kind of like, do I really want to, But they do carrots great. So I'm just going to put some carrots on here. So instead of chopping them, now this did take quite a bit of time because I had to kind of lay them out there, but that way they're all going into the same bowl and they're ready to go. I do like to put carrots in my salads because I love carrots, and it's just kind of nice to have just that little crunch. I was going to get some shredded carrots, but again, I feel like if I have a lot of ingredients in my salad, then I don't have to put a lot of dressing on there, and you don't have to have all that extra stuff. It's just enough, because you have so many like bites to take and you have different textures, which just really makes the salad just that much better. So we have our cucumbers and our carrots. I'm just trying to see like how many more I need, and I don't want to have a whole bunch left over, but I love carrots, so I'm going to do a few more. And then the next thing that we're going to work on is going to be the peppers. So I'm going to go ahead and do strips for my little veggie tray because I'm thinking that I may do some oven fajitas or some air fryer fajitas maybe for dinner one day this week. I'm just kind of trying to use things out of my freezer and my pantry for my lunches and dinners this week. So I'm going to cut them in strips. That way I can use them for that, and then we will dice up just the tops for the salad. I find that the tops, because we don't want to waste them, but the tops almost feel like they're harder to cut up because you can't really cut them into strips. So they don't work in a lot of recipes unless you're just finely dicing them. So I'm just going to take half of the peppers to chop up for my salads. And then the other halves I'm just going to put in the refrigerator in case I need them for anything else, because I may eat them all up with my dip and my hummus. And I may need some more for my fajitas. But I know I didn't want a lot in my salads. I'm not a huge fan of a lot of peppers in my salads, but I did want just a little bit. So you can see here, you can just put the tops in there and just chop them up, and it just works perfectly. Now, one thing with these choppers, you don't want to have anything overhanging because it will not chop. It'll get stuck. So you have to be really careful with that. So that's why I had to cut some of them in half, because they didn't quite fit on there. But you seriously, like, even the littlest bit will stop it from chopping. And I've had that frustration many times. The other thing that's a little frustrating in this one, which is why I think I need to upgrade, are onions. I have the hardest time cutting up onions in here. I feel like I have to take off like 2 layers of skin or it gets stuck in there. And it's just kind of a mess. And I had taken off, that one skin, but I feel like I have to go all the way down like another layer. But you can't see it here, but it was a huge mess to clean up off of that chopper. Now I have some green onions, and I'll tell you guys, I took your advice. Oh, and then I messed up on these ones, but I took your advice. The last green onions that I bought, I put them in a jar, and they are already growing. And I meant to save these ones, but now as I'm doing my voiceover, I'm realizing I didn't save them. So my plan is to have several little jars of green onions, and then that way I always have green onions for whatever, because you guys know how much I love them. So we're just going to chop these up, and you guys know I throw these in everything, in my egg scrambles, in my salads, in my taco bowls. I throw green onions in everything. I absolutely love green onions, and red onions are definitely my favorite. So we're just going to go ahead and get these all chopped up, add a few to my salad mixture there. And then the next thing is going to be some cilantro. And again, you know how much I love my cilantro. So we're going to go ahead and take that, and we're going to chop that up. And I am going to add that to my salads. And then I think I'm going to make some kind of taco bowls or something this next week. I pretty much do not go a week, does not go by where I don't have a taco bowl. It's just so easy to make and to throw together. And just having cilantro on hand, it just adds that extra little flavor, because you guys know how much I love it. I am going to chop it up pretty finely because I do want to put it in my salad. And if it's not like a taco salad, I like to have it just kind of like for flavor with some herbs on there. I'm going to put those into a container, and then all my veggie chopping is done. This actually took quite a while. So you can see I have my little veggie tray here, and that turned out great. So now I can just put that in my refrigerator. I can just grab a bunch, throw them in a bag, take them to work, have some of my dip. And then these you're going to see here in a second when I make my chopped salad. So I have my salad mixture, then I have my green onions and my cilantro to use in meals throughout the week. Now what we are going to make is first up though, we got to chop up our lettuce, because again, I want to have different textures. So I have some spinach, some baby spring mix, and then I do have some iceberg lettuce here. So I'm just going to cut up all 3, again, just so I can have different textures in my salads. So I'm just trying to kind of eyeball it to see. I'm making 2 chopped salads, so I want to make sure I have enough, but not too much so I don't waste it. But again, I can just throw it into a bag. Now I meant to pick up some romaine, because I do think romaine's a little bit crunchier and has a little bit, I think it has like more vitamins in it than iceberg lettuce, but iceberg is really great to have just for the crunch. But of course, we like to have iceberg also for like burger, like lettuce wrapped burgers and things like that. So we're going to go ahead and get our lettuce chopped up, and then we'll chop up our spinach and our spring mix. We're going to go ahead and work on our spinach next. And y'all told me, and I have not bought one yet, and I need to do it. I don't think about it till I'm meal prepping lettuce, but y'all told me that there is such thing as a lettuce knife that actually makes lettuce last longer. But I'm going to be eating these probably 2 days in a row, and so I think that they're going to last just fine. I'll have one tomorrow for lunch, and then I'll have one Tuesday for lunch, and then we'll be just fine. So, but I need to get one of those lettuce knives. You guys told me that they're plastic and I can just get them off of Amazon. So I am definitely going to pick one of those up because I had no idea that there was such a thing. I feel like after I looked them up on Amazon, I did recognize them, but just never, I guess I just never really knew what they were. So I'm going to do some spring mix, which just is a mixture of baby greens. So we have some red lettuce and some green lettuce and just some other spring mixes in there. So I'm going to go ahead and chop those up. And then I'm just going to toss this all together, and I really cut the heck out of that iceberg lettuce because I really wanted it chopped up finely. Because you know when you go and you get like a chopped salad, I do have a knife somewhere to specifically for chopping up salads. So one thing I'm going to do that I highly recommend is add salt and pepper to your salad because it just elevates the flavor. So this was actually onion salt and pepper that I'm adding, and I added it to the salad mixture, and then I also added some to the veggie mixture. Like I said, it just really elevates the salad. Typically what I do is when I make a salad, I just sprinkle it on top and just kind of mix it in there, but since this is going to be a layered salad, I just kind of had to do it in the separate layers. But yeah, it just adds so much flavor to your salad. So if you don't salt and pepper your salad, do it. And a lot of you have commented when I've said that before, have said that yes, it definitely does so much better. Now we're going to do salads in a jar. How long has it been since I've done that, you guys? I'll have to go back and look on my channel. I feel like it's probably been about 5 years since I have made a salad in a jar. I used to make them all the time. I got these jars at Marshall's. I believe they are 33-ounce jars. I think they're like 33.8. They're square. The round ones were a little bit smaller, so I went and just bought the square ones. Now I am going to measure out the salad dressing. I meant to just do the 28 grams, which is a serving, but it did go a little bit over, but that's okay. Well, it's all good. Now you put the salad dressing in the bottom. Now I know when I've made this in the past, I have not always put salad dressing in it. I've just waited and did the salad dressing on the side just because I didn't feel like it had enough mixture, but I'm going to bring a bowl and we're going to be good to go. Then the next layer you want to do is like hearty vegetables. So it's going to put a barrier between your salad dressing and any of your greens that would normally get soggy. So that's what we're really doing here, is building a barrier. Now, one thing I forgot to put in there were tomatoes. You definitely want to put your tomatoes down there next to your salad dressing, but I forgot tomatoes. So we're going to also put in here some chickpeas or garbanzo beans, whatever you call them. They have been drained and rinsed. I love those in salad, so that's what goes next, beans. And then also, this is the point where you put any grain, so like rice or quinoa or something like that. But I'm not putting any of that in my salad this week. So instead, we're going to put some chicken. So I'm going to weigh out 3 ounces of, this is already cooked, grilled chicken breast that I have chopped up. And I'm just going to go ahead and weigh out 3 ounces of this. Now, I think next week I may make the same type of salad and do like a taco salad and use either quinoa or rice in it because I think that would be really, really good. But this week we're just making it super simple. It's been so long since I've made these. Now, at this point, I kind of press it down a little bit just to make sure that it's all, nice and compact. And then next up, we're going to put some feta cheese. So this is the fat-free feta from Trader Joe's. I'm just going to weigh out a serving of this, which is 28 grams. I hope you can't hear my dogs barking because they are out in the other room barking. And then next up, we're going to put some lettuce. So the lettuce is completely away from anything wet. So I really packed the lettuce in there because I like my salads to be really, really big. Now, when you look at some of these salad in a jar recipes, they leave kind of a space because they shake them to shake that dressing all around, but I don't. I pour mine into a big bowl and then I just eat it that way. So you'll see when I have this in my what I eat in a day videos, you'll see that I just pour mine in a bowl. I shake it up. I put it in my bowl that has a lid and I shake it up. And then that way I can shake all the dressing around. But some people do leave a little space to shake up their jar and just do the jar, but I don't think it's necessary. So we have our lettuces in there. We have our cilantro. And then I'm going to do, at this point, is where you put nuts or seeds. So I'm going to do some pepitas, which are like pumpkin seeds, and these are dried and roasted. And I'm just weighing out 10 grams because that is only 1 point. So the only thing for points in this is going to be the pepitas, the salad dressing, and I believe the fat-free feta. Back in the day, fat-free cheese was 0 points, but I'm pretty sure now it's points, and I think it's 1 point for that. So you can see here, like I said, I'll just turn this over and pour it into a big bowl, and we'll have a salad. For the second salad, we're going to use the dill pickle ranch. The first one I forgot to tell you guys was the fire chili ranch from Bold House. This is the dill pickle ranch. Same, everything else the same order. And then I thought for toppings it'd be good to have some of these wisps. And then also these Crunchmaster crackers. I'm going to have those on the side. So I'm going to do half a serving of each. I believe with the wisps, a half a serving was 4, because I think they were 28 grams for a serving. So 14 grams is what I am weighing out for these. And then with the crackers, those ones I believe are 30 grams. And so I weighed out 15 grams of the crackers. And these are the avocado Crunchmasters. I tried the Crunchmaster crackers for the first time last week, and they were absolutely amazing, you guys. And these avocado toast ones are really good as well. So we're just going to weigh out the half a serving of those. And I just thought it'd be nice to have like a little cracker on the side of my salad. And I'll probably put the wisps on top, kind of like as the croutons, just kind of break them up a little bit and just kind of have a little crunchy aspect, you know, to that. But I just wanted to have a little bit of cracker on the side. And then, so I'm just going to weigh out the other ones for the other salads. I just put my wisps in these little cups, and here are my salads. You guys, don't those look so good? And I'll tell you, you'll see they stay fresh in these jars, and I love these jars because they really, the lid is on there super tight. And so I'll just bring this for lunch, and I'll just dump it into a big bowl, shake it up, add my croutons, my wisps on top, eat it with my crackers, and this is a great healthy lunch. Everything will be on the screen. Points, calories, protein will all be on the screen. We are also going to make some yogurt cups. So I have the chia seed pudding for 2 days for my breakfast, and then we're going to do some yogurt bowls the other 2 days. So I have my apple cider donut Catalina Crunch, which you guys know is my favorite. And I got this container. I got these also at Marshall's. They just had some really cute like lunch prep stuff there this last week. And then I'm using that Chobani Zero Sugar yogurt again. So I'm going to weigh out the 3/4 of a cup, or 170 grams. And now what's nice about this bowl, these little containers, is it was perfect. It was the perfect amount once I put in my 170 grams. It was the perfect amount to leave a space to put in my Catalina Crunch cereal. So you could also put fruit in here, but I'm just going to take a banana with me and just eat my banana and then have my yogurt in there. But yeah, I was really shocked on how great of a fit it was. And yeah, like I said, it just really surprised me. But these containers, they're really easy to clean. I've used them one time already. Really easy to clean, really easy to, I didn't put them in the dishwasher. I don't know if they're dishwasher safe. I just usually hand wash these types of things. And speaking of perfect fit, let me show you what a perfect fit this is. It's like they almost knew what a serving, when they developed these little containers, it's like they knew that on average granola, cereal, yogurt toppers in general tend to be around the same amount of grams. So I weighed out the grams for this, which I think was like 36 of the cereal. And look at that. Fits perfectly. It's a half a cup is what it is. Fits perfectly. This is perfect half cup fit for this yogurt. It went on there. It tightened up, did not squeeze anything, still have a little bit of room. I was so shocked the first time I used this that a half a cup fit in there perfectly. So I just feel like they did a really good job of designing these, and I'm sure they have something similar on Amazon. I will look to see, that way I can link something similar to you in case you don't have a Marshall's. We only have Marshall's here, but from what I understand, like Home Goods, TJ Maxx, and Marshall's all have around the same types of stuff, but we only have Marshall's. But look at that. See how it's perfect? Once I pour that cereal in there, it'll be perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and put these together, and this will be a breakfast, or it could even be a snack. It could be a good snack as well. It comes with a spoon, which is great because I never have spoons at my desk at work, and then I always have to run to the break room to get one because I always forget. And I'll put everything here on the screen. Again, points, calories, protein, and all of that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this week's meal prep. I feel like there's a lot of really healthy, fresh things. I'm going to get all my veggies in. high protein, really easy meals to throw together. This meal prep only took me about 40 minutes, but that was with filming and everything, and also cleanup. My kitchen was completely spotless by the time I finished up those yogurt cups, which were the last thing that I did. So it was a really super easy meal prep, and I thank you guys so much as always for watching my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.